All right, Sean Williams with Inside Hilltoppers Sports, part of the Rivals.com network. We are here doing a video interview with Western Kentucky quarterback commit Tucker Park. So, Tucker, appreciate you hopping on. Obviously, you were the first commitment in Western Kentucky's class. So, I'm just going to ask you right off the bat, kind of how does it feel to be committed? You've been committed for over a month now. How does that kind of feel to be committed and be part of this class?
It feels great. There was a lot of stress coming into this commitment. And, we whenever we visited in June, we went to the camp and everything. And we had great hospitality. And we really just fell in love with everything and the people there and the atmosphere that Western Kentucky provides. So I think we fell in love with it and decided to commit. And it's been a great decision. It's definitely taken a lot of stress off my shoulders for sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that visit, just some things that really kind of stood out to you while you were there and what ultimately kind of made you, decide to go ahead and commit to Western. Why was it a right fit for you?
So I went in there like my expectations weren't like super high. I didn't know what I was walking into, to be honest with you. Coach Drew, I knew Coach Helton, like some of the big name coaches at the the facilities and stuff. But whenever I walked in, immediately I was greeted by 2 to 3 guys, and then one girl. So they helped us out. They walked us around, and you're looking at a group of five, a school that competes in a bowl game every year, and then a group of five school that has Power Five facilities and Power Five talent. So it's really like I'm up there competing with the top guys, in my opinion, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm a competitor, so I like to go compete. And really just the energy that everybody brought to me just really made me feel like home, and I'm a homebody, so I have to get that feeling in order to commit to something. And I think it's been great. And yeah, I really fell in love with the place. I loved it a lot, and I'm excited to get down there.
Yeah. Did you you said you camped? Did you camp there? You said you went to the camp, right?
Yes, sir. I went to the camp in, like, I think it was middle of June. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Talk about that experience. Obviously, you already have a relationship with the staff. You kind of get to go up there and work with Coach Hollingshead and all those guys. What was that experience like for you?
It was great. I got to work with Coach Hollingshead, and he kind of helped walk me through some processes, and I got to see a lot of people in action. I got to see how they coach. I got to see what the atmosphere was going to be like. But they had players out there that didn't have to be there. Like they could have gone home, but instead they decided to stay at WKU and kind of help us out, and that really lured me in a little bit as well, because that's just awesome. But the camp, it brought a lot of energy, and I was really excited to work with the guys. And I went out there to compete, and I think I did pretty good. But it was fun. It was fun for sure, and I look forward to going back soon.
Yeah, I think you solidified why they offered you back in May because that's when you picked up the offer. So you come up there and sling it a little bit and show that you just belonged in the class, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What did the coaches say they liked about your skill set? Obviously they offered you, initially in May, based off film, and then you come up there and then you kind of see what you got, show them what you got in person. What was kind of their feedback for you?
Honestly, I think they were really big on my like personality and my competitiveness. That like every quarterback can throw the ball. And then you always have your guys with special skill sets and stuff like that. But I think they just liked me for the person that I was the most, and of course my arm strength, and of course like the ability to like to see the field and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna pick on like too much specific things, but yes, those are the main things. I think it was personality for sure. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Kind of curious too, obviously you went up there, you camped, you committed shortly after. I mean, what was kind of like the point you was like, hey, I know Western Kentucky is where I want to go. Was there like a certain instance whenever you felt that way?
I wasn't too sure at first. I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know what I was walking into. But after the visit, after the camp and everything, I had to discuss it with my parents for sure. But after talking to the coaching staff and like learning that my offer was committable, we were all on board after the day. We really, truly, honestly, like fell in love with everything about it.
Mhm.
Everything. I couldn't be more honest. I couldn't be more grateful to everybody there.
Yeah. So tell me how it went down. Like when you decided to commit, who did you kind of call first? What was their reaction? All that good stuff.
So we were on the phone with Coach Hollingshead, and we were talking, and I mean, my parents were in the room, so of course they wanted to talk to him as well. But I
Mhm.
mean, surrounded by my family, and then I called my brother. That was definitely the first person that I called. He's been one of my biggest supporters since day one. And then right after that, I called my aunts and uncles and my grandmother. So yes, sir. Those were the people that are everybody.
That's good times then, man. Good times.
Yes.
We'll talk about Coach Helton too. Obviously, getting to meet him and talk to him, build a relationship with him throughout the process. What do you like about his personality and just kind of your relationship with him so far?
At first, he was a real serious guy. I didn't know I was gonna get any humorous looks out of him, but we started chatting it up a little bit and talking more about like our personal lives just beyond football. So I got to learn a lot about him. You know, we both go deer hunting, so that's
Okay.
a big thing. And I mean, I hope I can do that with him one day. Uh, but family was another big thing on him. I met his two sons while he was down there, and it was really nice to meet them.
Yeah. Hey man, you're coming up to Kentucky, so lots of deer hunting ground around these areas. So you'll be good to go, man.
Yes, sir. I look forward to it.
um, yeah, just talk about obviously you've got 8 commitments in the class so far. You were the first one. We talked about this a little bit before we hit record, but talk about that relationship with the other commitments in the class and how that's going for you so far.
So we actually have like a little group chat with all the guys that are committed this far, and it's awesome. The guys, they're super great teammates, and we're always checking in on each other and always talking to each other about how our day is going or how our week's going. So we're already building a bond and a lot of chemistry just in the little group chat. I can't imagine how close we'll be whenever the season comes around, and especially whenever the off season when we get to work with each other every day.
Yeah. Right. Did you know, like, whenever Western offered you, did you know a lot about their program and, how excited were you whenever you kind of knew, obviously, what they've done, what they've accomplished. But I mean, obviously being a quarterback, they threw for like 4 or 5,000 yards the past 2 seasons. So I'm sure that had to be exciting to see too.
It was really exciting. I didn't know a whole lot. I knew that Bailey Zappi went there. I knew he had broke the NCAA passing record, and I mean he broke it by far. Uh,
Yeah.
but it was really exciting. You know, I had to go. I went on YouTube and watched a couple of games. So I did my research of the offense, and after watching those games, I mean, we lost to Indiana by a field goal last year, and
Hmm.
like I mean we're competing up there with a Big Ten school, so that was really exciting to know because I mean, I'm like I said, I'm competitive and I want to win. I want to play the top dogs. So
Yeah, just talk a little bit about your game. I mean, I've got the stats scrolling down here on the bottom, but you've got pretty accurate with the ball, but you also run the ball too. You almost you ran for over 800 yards. You threw for over 2,500 yards. Very efficient with the ball. Just talk about your overall game and just kind of your skill set overall.
yes, sir. I mean, obviously we like to throw the ball a lot now. We kind of changed the program at my high school a little bit. We are more of a run first kind of thing. We had Isaiah Spiller, who's now with the Chargers. He went to A&M.
Okay.
Uh, but whenever we came in, I told coach, I was like, "This is the best class you're ever going to coach." And I think we've changed the program for the better. Passing the ball a lot. We only went 2 rounds deep last year. We had a really tough opponent with Westfield, lost by 3 points. But in my game, I hate to say competitive because I said it so much, but I just want to win. Whatever it takes. For me and the team to get out there and compete and go win football games is the big thing. So, I mean, we have that drive every year, and that's what I have for sure. So I like to, I mean, like to throw it around, like to run it around. That's just the game. But at the end of the day, the goal is to win, and whatever it takes. To be honest, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, by run or by pass. So whatever it takes, right?
Yes, sir.
Talked about a little bit too, but obviously potential for it to be an early enrollee. That's the case for you, correct?
Yes, sir. I have to follow up with a couple of more requirements, but I plan on going down there. I think it's mid-January or early January.
Hmm.
Plan on going down there early so I can get my 15 practices in and kind of understand the culture a little bit more with the players and the coaches. And yes, sir. I mean, I'm I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Of course, I got one more season. I got to finish out strong, but I'm very excited for this.
Yeah. And obviously, speaking of quarterbacks, I mean, just talk about who you kind of like to watch, whether it's like NFL, college, who do you kind of like to watch and just kind of emulate your game after?
So honestly, uh, I like I like three guys, and one of those guys probably won't be very high on people's totem pole, but so I'll start out with him. I like Johnny Manziel. I watch his highlights before every game. Kind of gets me pumped up, and he's a partier, stuff like that, which I don't partake in any of that stuff. But his football game is excellent to me. His
Right.
running abilities. That's what I try to mimic whenever I'm out there on the field. But two passers that I really enjoy watching and studying are Drew Brees. His timing is incredible. He doesn't have the strongest arm, so his footwork has to be impeccable and like just right on point. And he also has to build the chemistry with his teammates in order to do that. So him for sure. I actually have a signed ball by him over there.
Okay, cool.
And then Dan Marino would be another one. He's like one of the first guys I started watching. Just the way he like moved, he kind of started the whole thing of like moving around the pocket, like swatting people's arms down, and
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't bring him down. He was so good. But those are my three guys. I think my biggest guy would be Drew.
Okay.
For sure. But if I had to pick three, those would be my three players. Yes, sir.
That's a nice eclectic three, man. You got Manziel, which, hey, man, look, dude was dynamic in college. You can't deny that. I mean, he was awesome to watch every week.
Yes.
And you got Drew Brees, who just retired, so pretty modern player there. And then you got Dan Marino. I like that you mixed in the old school Dan Marino reference there. So a super great quarterback. So that's a good list right there, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
It's a good eclectic list. Tucker, man, really appreciate the time. And the last question I'll give you is just more of a statement, really. Obviously, you're committed to Western. You're thinking about coming in mid-season. Just talk about, just kind of give the Western Kentucky fans a message out there.
Oh, he putting the pressure on me.
First, you can adjust your camera and show the shirt there.
Yeah, I had to put the shirt on.
Yeah, he's representing. He's representing.
Yes, sir. But I'm ready to get down there and compete and show. I'm ready to give my heart to Western Kentucky and get out there and give it my all every day. So whenever it's my time when I get on the field, just be ready.
All right, sounds good. Tucker Parks, Western Kentucky commit in the 2024 class. Really appreciate the time. Thanks a whole lot, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. It means a lot. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Thank you so much.